Okay, hello everybody. Alright, listen. Sorry I haven't made a video in the last day. Um, but basically, at the end of the video, the last video that I made, um, the comp was starting to uh, be positive on the day. And that led to Tuesday. That led to Tuesday um, being a green candle. So right now we're red on the MACD histo. So you know, if I think what's gonna happen here is like I said, we're gonna if we did have a push higher, we're gonna hit the 7,400 range. Right now the Dow Jones is not looking good. So, but the Dow Jones has been pretty flat in comparison to the Nasdaq. Let's just zoom out. Yeah, so it's pretty flat compared to the Nasdaq here. Look at the humongous green histo. Um, yeah. It's okay. You could walk about. Aww. Okay. That's just lovely, isn't it? Um, all right. But yeah. So that 7,400 range, I think it's gonna the force of bouncing off the 50-day moving average, um, is forced momentum change. But I think once it kind of pokes its head above there and says, "Ah, shit, I can't really sustain these levels," then I think it's gonna go ahead and retest the 50-day moving average. But basically, S&P looks okay. Same thing with that. You know, I oh God, let's just look on the histo. Yeah, so we're starting to hit this red here. Although we actually hit red here before on the histo, but not on the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq was just all green, and now the Nasdaq's red. So what I'm saying is Nasdaq is the indice to look at because that kind of led the charge. So now with if we have a good day today, then that could change everything. You know, the CCI is down low. It's at a point where, it looks like it should fail, but the CCI could come up at this point and swing up just like it did here. But it's lower, which is strange. Usually it does higher if it's more positive. But the RSI is higher. Well, it's about the same. So I'm trying to make a case for a bull move up here. But you know, we've had resistance here at this 7,400. So we're gonna test here. Um, that's that. I mean, if we do happen to drop below the 50-day moving average, we should get big drops. Um, just like we did when we passed it over here. This 50-day moving average just dropped past it. Well, I really just wanted to touch upon that and where we left off. I think because Jerome Powell is speaking today, it's going to be pretty much flat. He spoke yesterday as well, so we're pretty much um, waiting on how hawkish he is. You know, people. I think we're expecting him to be dovish because the more hawkish he is, the more rate hikes he's implying. Um, and the more the markets can't really take that, and more the economy can't take the rate hikes. Another thing to watch is how the 10-year bond yield, um, it's at 2.8. If it gets over the price of the 30-year bond, which is at 3.0, I think, then we're gonna start that indicates a recession. And every time for the past 60, 70 years that's happened, that the 10-year has gone over the 10-year yield has been higher than the 30-year yield, there's been a recession. So, I mean, all those things we need to look at. We need to look at, you know, watch the housing markets globally. Watch what the central banks are doing. China is massively trying to restructure their debt because they know that their shit's gonna hit the fan. Um, we're not out of the woods yet. I think there there could be that this if it doesn't go right here, then it's gonna go wrong. But there's a chance it's gonna go right because you know, the central banks just buy stocks. The central banks are buying the bonds out the back door, so that's why there's not really much increase in the yield. Although right now we're at 29.1, and finally this little bear market for um, the 10-year is going to increase. It's going to become a bull. Um, we're likely to see a spike down in the CCI, and then a blast through the MACD, and that would lead it into the threes, and which is, you know, we're at that point we're in trouble. We're in trouble. And as much as people say we're not in trouble, we're in trouble. Every time the 10-year yield has went over the 30-year yield, it's indicated a recession. And although we talked about that paper, the Federal Reserve did to try and rebuttal that. Um, I think it's just a load of shit. They don't know what they're talking about. They never know what they're talking about. When you see these Fed chairs, get interviewed by Congress, like, or when you watch Ron Paul rip a hole in Bernanke and, I'm pretty sure Krugman, he just ripped a hole through Krugman's ideologies, and, they don't know what they're talking about. And it's like, it's a scam. That's really what it is. So you just gotta, all this stuff's going on. I think the market's going to be pretty steady. Um, we're looking for a test higher. That's what we're looking for. Um, and it's horrible to say that I want the market to crash, but I just want a good reset. I want good sound money, which I know it's not going to happen, but I want real growth, not this fake growth that we have. And that would really make America great again. But have that test higher, fail it, go back down, test the 50-day moving average. But right now, we're at a good trend line for the Nasdaq here. We're at a good trend line. So if it just has a good day today, then this could change everything. So we'll leave it at that. Short little video today. Maybe at the end of the day, if things turn around or if things go, much higher, then I'll comment. But like I said in a previous video, the best way to make money is not by saying what you think's gonna happen and bet that way. Is to say, well, what is this trend doing and how can I profit from this specific trend? So right now it kind of looks like we're we're bouncing off support, but let's just see if the support holds. This could go south, but right now there's not too much room for it to go south here with the indicators, although it can. And yeah, we just gotta wait and see what happens. Well, thank you very much, guys, for watching, even though none of you watch. So take care until the next time.